So first thing is the ring counter that we need to understand. So before jumping into the how the circuit will be look like, we have to start from the table, right? How table will be look like. So now here we require this kind of behavior. So first your counter output will be 1 0 0 0. Then in the second clock cycle, or you can say next clock cycle, it will become 0 1 0 0. In the next clock cycle, it will become 0 0 1 0. In the next clock cycle, it will become 0 0 0 1. And once after that, another clock cycle, it will again back to the 1 0 0 0. Right? So ultimately, this one is moving one location ahead in every clock cycle. And once you reach at the end, it will come back. Then again, it will start. So it is the behavior is look like a ring, right? So this is given in this table. Now, first question, what we have to figure out how many flip-flops required to represent this information. Suppose we are saying 1 0 0 0. How many flip-flops we require to store this information? Definitely 4, because we have 4 bit, right? And we already know, like for each bit we required 1 flip-flop, so we required 4 flip-flops to store this information. Now, second important question is which flip-flop have a behavior where you will give some input. Suppose you are giving some X input. In the next clock cycle, whenever it is high, you can say if it is a rising edge or falling edge, let's say it's a rising edge, whenever rising edge is come, this X will propagate to the output. This is your input and this is your output. So which flip-flop have this kind of behavior? Whenever rising edges come or level high will come, or you can say clock will become high, in that case your whatever input is there, that will propagate to the output. So which flip-flop have this behavior? Just recall and just tell me the answer.
D flip-flop.
Which one?
D.
Exactly. So we have D flip-flop, right? Whenever, so suppose it's a edge trigger, let's say, so whenever this positive edge will come, whatever the value of input, that will propagate to the output. So suppose if here it is 0, so it will propagate 0. If here it is 1, it will propagate 1. Whenever this edge will come, right? Suppose it's a negative edge trigger, so whenever this negative edge will come, this information will propagate. Now, if you look into this input behavior, what exactly we want? Suppose I will say, let me clear this part. Yes. Suppose I'm saying I have 4 flip-flops, 1, say 2, 3, and 4. Right? We already know that every flip-flop, so let's say it's a positive edge trigger, so I'm connecting this with clock, same clock. All are connected with the same clock. This will also connect with the same clock, right? And here we have output. And here we have input. Now, first question, I want to start with 1 0 0 0. So what should be the preset and reset value for the individual clock? Or you can say which clock will we want in the preset and which flip-flop we want in the reset. Suppose I'm saying this is store Q0, this will be Q1, this will be Q2, this will be Q3. So which one you want preset, which one you want reset? Where I want to store 1 0 0 0. This is our starting point. So definitely you'll say I want Q1 as a preset so that your output will be 1. And rest of them like Q1, Q2, Q3 will be 0. So there's those I want into the reset state, right? So first one in the preset and remaining all will be in the reset state. So let me do that. So this will be in the reset, this will also in the reset, this will also in the reset. But this one I want as preset state, and this is your preset or reset state. This one is your clock, right? Now let's look into the behavior. This one will propagate to the second flip-flop whenever, let's say, whenever your positive edge will come. In the next positive edge, this one will propagate here like this. In the next positive edge, this one will propagate here. So ultimately, this one is moving forward, right? So how we can connect this input and output so that first time one will be here as a output, then second time one will be here, third time one will be here, and fourth time one will be here. The next time your one will transfer back to this output. So what do you think? How we can connect it? Can we connect this output with this input, this output with this input, this output with this input, and this output I want to connect back as this input? Now let's think. We started, so you can say initially this will be 1, this will be 0, this will be 0, this will be 0, because 3 are in the reset and 1 is in the preset. Now when next clock cycle will come, you can say when this age trigger will come, what will happen? This 1 will propagate to the second, 0 will propagate to the third, this will propagate to the fourth, and this value will propagate back to the 1. So then what output you will get if that propagation happen? You will get 0, 1, 0, 0. And that is our desired output in the next clock cycle. Right? So simply what you will do, so let me erase this. What you will do, you will simply connect this output with the next input, right? So let's look into like how exactly they will behave. So initially, let me take this as one output, this as second output, this as third output, and definitely this will be your fourth output. So initially, because this is preset, so this will be 1, this will be 0, this will be 0, this will be 1, right? Now let's look into the input side. So let me connect this input with the different color. So what is input here in this moment? What is the input? What do you think? What will be the input here? This clock is not there, but what input is ready? Whenever clock will come, then it will propagate. So input will be, because this is connected from here, so input will be 0, right? What input you will be ready here in this Q1? That will be 1, right? This input 0, this input 0. Now, when clock will come, for example, this rising edge will come, then what will happen? These inputs will propagate and they will become your output. So in that case, when this rising edge will come, this will become 0, this will become 1, this will become 0, and this will become 0. Right? Now, once this modification happen, suppose you are somewhere here or here or here somewhere. In that case, what input will be there after this modification? So definitely this input will remain 0. This input will also be 0. You can figure out from here, right? So these two will be modified. So this input will become 0 and this input now will become 1. Now, when again this rising edge will come, what will happen? These input will propagate and they will become the output. So the next output will become 0, 0, 1 and 0. Got it? This is what we required. So in that way, your ring counter is operating. Got it? Anyone, any doubt on this? Guys, any doubt on this? Anyone, any doubt on this?
No, sir.
Right. Now let's look into, so this is your ring counter. So let me clear it so that it will be visible properly. Clear. A ring counter, right? More clear circuit. It is remain as the this one what we have created. Next we have Johnson counter. So let's understand how we can make this Johnson counter. Now here first thing we required all zeros in the initial point. It means we will reset all the out, you can say flip-flops in the initial point, right? Then next value, this will come as 1 whenever next clock cycle will come or whenever rising edge will come. In the next rising edge, this 1 will propagate further and again this will receive another 1. Then another rising edge, this 1 will propagate further and this again receiving the 1. In another rising edge, this one will receiving 1 and these ones will be propagate. Then in next one, here you are receiving, so you can compare this, right? Any specific thing you figure out? Sorry, this one, this cross. Any specific thing you are able to figure out? What is the relation between last flip-flop output and first flip-flop input? Can you figure out some relation here? Yes? Anyone? This
Complement.
value? Yes, it's a complement. Always complement, right? So with that, if we can think, okay, I want always complement of last output as input of the first. And initially we start with all zeros. So with that thought, we can make a Johnson counter. What this will do, this will simply, whatever output will come, it will complement and feed back to the input. So initially you can say, if you look into these outputs, so definitely this output will first take, then you will have, let's say I will make note here and this will straight here. So you'll have an output. So initially, because all are in the clear or all are in the reset, you will have all zeros. But what input is available? This is the not of this. So input will be 1, this input will be 0, this will be 0, this will be 0. When next clock cycle will come, when rising edge will come, this 1 will propagate. So this will become 1, this will be 0, this will be 0, this will be 0. When another clock cycle will come, because this output is 0, so this will remain 1. So it will become 1, and because of this one, this input is 1 and it will propagate here, so you will get 1 1 0 0, right? Till it is 0 here, you will get 1 here, then 1 1 1 0, then 1 1 1 1. Now again you will get the reverse of this, so now you will receive 0 here, 1 1 1 here, then again 0 0 1 1 and so on. Got it? So this is known as your Johnson counter. Any doubt, guys? Anyone? Guys, any doubt?
No, sir.
It is like very simple counter. And this circuit, this kind of circuit, like where we have these D flip-flops, we'll see again while we talk about the registers. Registers which is specifically designed for the storage. So when you say when storage comes into the picture, D flip-flop is most useful. So we'll come back when we talk about the register. Similar architecture, similar kind of diagram with some slight change. Now let's come to the, as I told you, like we'll talk about the state machines. So there are two variety of state machines. Everyone know Moore's law? Anyone know Moore's law?
Sir, can you repeat?
Moore's law. Moore's law.
Sir, it's MOORE, I think.
Yes, yes. Yeah, MOORE, Moore's law. Okay.
Sir, it says
Yes.
that we can expect the speed and capability of computer increase.
Yes,
Like,
yes,
sir,
you are in the right direction. Absolutely. Okay, so if you have not, if you don't know the Moore's law, you just go through, Google it, you will get the Moore's law. That is talking about the compactness of your processor and speed of processor. So you can say compactness means how many component will be in your processor in next few years, and that is increasing in every few years. That is talk about the Moore's law. Okay. So now this Moore's machine is there. So there are two type of state machine. So this is one type of state machine, right? Here, this part is represented state, right? Now, these values, these are representing as the input. Now here, this will represent the state value. These are the state value. And here you have one more thing, that is this, that is the output. So ultimately in Moore's law, we have one is the state value, one is the input, one is the complete state, and one is the output. Now here every state have some output and every state have inputs as well. And based on the input, it move from one state to another state, right? So this is simple one kind of state machine. Now there is another kind of state machine where every input associates it with the output. So here you can say this one is the input and this one is the output. Similarly, this one is the input and this one is the output. Right. So every input associated with one output. Definitely it has states. You can say this is your S0, this is your S1, your S2, this is your S3. Now, along with this output, maybe state also have some output. Let's say 0 or 1 or 0 or 1. So this is representing with the state output and this is your input output, or you can say output with the input. So it has actually multiple outputs as well. So this is the Mealy machine. This is more complex than the Morse machine. So I'm not going to give the details of all how to design the Mealy machine, how to design the Morse machine, because that is not in the scope of this course, you can say in this moment. The scope is if you have some state machine in hand, then how to design the circuit for that. That is in our scope. So let's work on that direction. So here, just for example, I have taken mod 3 Morse machine. So we have mod 3 Morse machine. Now you can say how to make this machine first of all, right? So I will give you just one example. Then later on, like whenever you understand the theory of automata or theory of computation, you will understand how to make those state diagram, how to make those machines, right? So just to make this machine, first of all, we need to understand one thing, how many states will be there, right? Now, in order to find this, how many state will be there, first we have to find out when you take mod of 3 of any number x, how many values are possible? If you take mod of 3 of any number, how many values are possible? Means in the
three.
remainder, 3
Three.
values, right? One can be 0, one can be 1, one can be 2. Can we get any other value if you are taking mod of any number? No, right? If it is divisible by 3, then it will be 0, either remainder 1 or 2. right? So means we required to represent this machine three states, because only three outputs, or you can say three states are possible. Either it has remainder 1 or remainder 2, or it will be divisible. So you can say I have three states. One state which has value 0, 0, another state which have value 0, 1, and one more state which have value 1, 0. Right? Any doubt till this point? And your initial state is 0, 0, because whenever you give any number, that will start from 0, 0. Right? Now let me make a table here, right? Where the table is, first you have state information and the input. Now as we are saying, we have binary input. So what input are possible? Either 0 or 1, right? Now every state have two inputs. One input is 0, then once you get a 0, where it will move, once you get 1, where it will move. These two things we have to figure out, right? So now I'm saying when we are in the 0, 0 state and we are getting 0, right? So what this, if you say 0, 0, 0, what this number is representing? 0, 0, 0. What this number is? If you convert these number 0, 0, 0 into the decimal, what you will get? 0. Now you will take 0 mod 3. What will be the output?
0.
0. Means if you are in state 0, 0, and if your input is 0, you will back to the 0 state. So means if you are in 0 state, your input is 0, you will back to the 0 state. Right? Now, if you are in 0 state and your input is 1, so what this number is representing? This is representing 1. You'll take mod of 3, what you'll get? 1, right? So means if you are in the state 0, 0 and your input is 1, then where you will move? You will move to the state 1. So once in 0, 0 state, if you are getting input 1, then you will come back to the 0, 1. Now, suppose you are in 0, 1 state and your input is 0. So this value is representing 2. 2 mod 3. What you'll get? 2, right? So means if you are in 0, 1 state and your input is 0, you will jump to the state 2. Now, if you are 0, if you are in 0, 1 state and your input is 1, so what is this? 3 mod 3. What you'll get? Back to 0, right? Got it or not? Guys, got it or not? If you have in the state 0, 1 and you are taking input 1, where you will move? You will move to this state, right? So means you will come back while you are getting 1 input. Now if you are in 1, 0 state and you are getting value 0, so what value you are getting? 4 mod 3, 1, 0, 0. So where you will go? You will go to the state 1. So you will reach here. Now we have 1, 0, 1. This will be 5 mod 3. You will reach to the state 2. So it means whenever you will get one value, you will remain into the same state. Got it, everyone? Any doubt on this? How we have designed this state machine? Guys, any doubt on this? Guys, any doubt on this?
No, sir.
right? Now, suppose here in order to complete it, 1 1 0 and 1 1 1. Is this state is there? No. So this will become your don't care. There will be XX. Any doubt till this point? Anyone? Guys, any doubt till this point? Guys, any doubt till this point?
No, sir.
Cool. Now let me erase this. So once you got this state machine, the next task how to design the circuit for that, because that is most important for us. Once you got this state machine, how to design the circuit. So let me erase all this because that is required to make this state machine. Now the next part, I will say I have QA, QB and your input. Now I have QA plus 1, QB plus 1. So check out this state machine and find out QA plus 1 and QB plus 1. So whenever you are in 0 0 state and you have input 0, where you are moving? 0 0 state and your input is 0. So you'll remain into the same state. So you can say QA plus 1 and QB plus 1 will be 0 0. Now when you are in 0 0 state and your input is 1. So let me one thing, keep little bit higher. So this will be 0 0. Now whenever your state is 0 0 and your input is 1, so where you are going? We are reaching to 0 1 state, right? So then your next state will become 0 1. Now what about this? What will be the next state? Check out
1 0.
1 0, right? So you will get 1 0. What about this?
0 0.
Exactly. So you got the thing 1 0, then you are getting 0, you will reach to the 0 1, then 1 0, you are getting 1, you will remain into the same state. 1 1, this state is not there, so we can say we have XX and XX because this state is doesn't exist. Now once you got, suppose QA, QB and QA plus 1 and QB plus 1, and suppose we are using D flip-flop to realize this circuit. So you can say I want DA and DB. This we already done it while we have done the flip-flop conversion, right? So how you'll figure out DA and DB? You will compare QA and QA plus 1 to find out the DA and QB and QB plus 1 to find out the DB. So what will be the DA and DB value? Can we figure out simply? So this will be 0, this will be 0, this will be 1, this will be 0, 0, 1. And because these are don't care, so we also go with the don't care. What about this? This will be 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, don't care, don't care. Now I have this entire table, state table, complete state table. Now can we find out equation for DA and DB where inputs are state, Q and QB and your input as well. So this is your input and these two are the output. So can you find out the equation for DA and DB? DA and DB. Can we find out the equation for DA and DB?
Yes, sir.
What we'll do, we'll simply make a K-map for DA, then K-map for DB, and we can easily figure out what will be the DA equation, what will be the DB equation, right? So can we do that? So DA, let me do it quickly. So we will have a K-map You can also do at your end so that you just do for DB so that we can easily figure out. So you can say it's A bar A, B I bar B I. I'm always taking this sequence A B I. So that sequence I'm following. B I B I bar. Now putting the values 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, X, X. So what will be the DA equation? So we can make two pairs here, right? One pair is this and one pair is this with the help of don't care. So what will be the DA value? It will be QA I plus QB I bar. Any doubt on this? Anyone? Has any doubt on this? How we got this DA equation? Now we want to find out the equation for DB. So we have taken A bar, A, B bar, I bar, B bar, I, Bi, Bi bar. Now the values are 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, X, X. So what we can do here, we have one pair and one singleton. You can simply figure out, we can make one pair with this X and this will be singleton. So your DB is equal to, so let me take first pair, it will be QA I bar plus the singleton QA bar, QB bar and I. Anyone, any doubt till this point? Guys, any doubt till this point? Anyone, any doubt till this point? Please clear it out.
No, sir.
Is it clear to everyone till this point? So the next stage is to realize the circuit for this entire mod 3 operation, right? So in order to do that, let me take this DA and DB into the next page so that we can easily make the circuit. We QAI and QBI bar, QAI plus QBI bar, and DB will be QAI bar, QAI bar plus QA bar, QB bar, and I. Right? Now, I want to make circuit for this. So as we have seen previously, we can make separate circuit for this and then we will utilize that circuit. So let me make a module. Here you have input QA, QB, and I, and output will be DA and DB. This maybe you can say it is my X circuit, right? Which will realize these two equations, just simply two equations. So how this circuit will be look like? We can say we have a QA, we have a QB, and we have a I. Right. So for the first circuit, I need two AND gates. So one AND gate, second AND gate. Definitely these two will go into the OR and you will get DA. Now let's look into the input. So first input is QB. So let me change the color so that you can easily figure out. So it's a QA So that will go into here. Then you have I bar. So one way to represent I bar is like this as well. I and bubble here. Bubble means not of I that we are putting as input. I had made something wrong. It will be I only directly. The first one, it will be QAI. And the second one, we have QB and I bar. So we'll take bubble here, take I bar, right? So this will be your DA. Now next, we will have one AND gate and we have another AND gate. Again, this will be a OR and this will be your DB. Now what will be the input for this that we need to figure out? So the inputs for first one, it will be QA and I bar. So we will attach QA and you can take this I bar as well, but I will take from here and attach a bubble. Now we have QA bar. So I will take this. I will take this and I will take this. So now what this circuit is realizing, this circuit is realizing these two equations. And I will say this entire circuit is your X circuit. Now I will make the final circuit. So let us make our final circuit. So here we have our first flip-flop that you can say DA. We have our second flip-flop that you can say DB, right? You have output DA, you have QA and QB, input DA and input DB, and here we have clock, which is commonly connected together. Right? Now I'll say I have a X circuit here. This X circuit has one input is I. Second input is coming from QA. So you can say this is your QA and this one will be your QB. So this is your I, this is your QA, this is your QB. Now it has two outputs. This is your X circuit. First will go to the DA and second will go to the DB. Got it? So this is your entire circuit. Anyone, any doubt on this? Guys, any doubt on this? Yes, anyone, any doubt on this? What happened? Feeling very exhausted today?
Sir, can you explain one thing?
Right? So here I have these two equations. I had made a separate module. I just named it X module, where I realized these two equations. And equation we already know QAI plus QBI bar. So here we have written QAI bar and OR gate will get DA. Similarly, for second equation, we have made this AND OR circuit and we got DB. Now what I have done, I took this X and attach it here. Right. So now what is the input? QA, QB and I have given I. QA is coming from first flip-flop, QB is coming from the second flip-flop. Now input of this D and DB is the output of this. So you can say this is your DA, this is your DB as we have taken here. So DA will connect here and DB will connect here. Now what will happen when your clock has high age and you got a input, your output will be changed. Your QA and QB will be modified. So that will give you the output. Got it? Has any doubt on this? Anyone, any doubt on this? Yes,
No, sir. No.
Cool. Right. Now, when I said I had made this state diagram for mod 3. Now let's test this state diagram quickly, how exactly it will operate, right? So let me take this state diagram into the next page here. Okay, I can test over there only, right? So suppose I have an input. Let me take few inputs and then you can test. Suppose I have input 0, 1, let's say 1, 0, 1, 0, this input. So what should be the output if you have this input 1, 0, 1, 0? What do you think? What will be the output? What output we are expecting if you are giving input 1, 0, 1, 0 to this circuit? Or what should be the correct? It should be 1, like 0, 1. So let's see, is really it will be 0, 1 or not, right? So now what we are giving, the first input 0, 1, 0. So you can say you are giving from, so it will be 0, then 1, then 0, then 1, right? So what you will do, this input you will give, in this entire input you will give from left to right. So first you will give 1 here. So what you, once you give 1, so we have 1, 0, 1, 0, right? So first you have given 1 here. So where it will reach? Once you give 1, it will reach in 0, 1. Then next you are giving 0. So then it will reach to here. Now once you give 1, it will back to the 1, 0. And then once you give 0, you will back to the 0, 1. So you will end up with the 0, 1. Got it? You are giving input from right, left to right. 1, 0, 1, 0. You will reach into this state. Now let's test another input. Suppose I have 1, 1, 1, 0. Now where will reach? 1, 1, 1, 0. So this will be 13 mod of 3. So that will be 1. Right? That should be 1. So you're taking 1, 1, 1. Wait. And 0. Interfere. Something is wrong.
14 mod 3.
Yeah, it's a 14. That's why I'm saying machine is correct. How? Yes, so it will have then 1, 1, 1, and 0. You'll reach end up here. So you can take any input. Let me take a bigger input. So 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, something like that. Even if you take a longer input, then also it will work. So what will be the value? Okay, in order to find the value of this will be like more difficult. So let me take some simple value. So you want to take some other value and you can check this machine. This will give you the correct mod value. So suppose I have given 0, 0, 1, 1. So then 0 you will remain here. Then again 0 you will remain here. 1 you will go to the state 1 and 1 you will come back to the state 0. And that is the same output. 3 mod 3 you will get the 0. Got it? So how you can operate on the state machine? Once it is done, then you will feed the value and you will get the same output. Now, irrespective of the length of input, how much big input you want to give, you can give and you will get your correct output. Got it? Any doubt, guys? Anyone? Guys,
Sir,
any
how
doubt?
can this input be given in the circuit?
Input will be given here. So this one value 0, 1, 0, 1 will be given one by one. So whenever suppose it is a positive edge trigger. So once positive edge will come, you will pass first 0. Then the next positive edge you will pass 1. Then next positive edge you will pass 0 and next positive edge you will pass 1. And your output, final output you will get from here. Got it? Your output will be Q and QB combination. Got it?
Yes.
Yeah. Any doubt, guys? Anyone? So this thing we require some practice. So we'll do a few more practice question into the next class as well. So don't worry if you're not able to understand in one go, we'll do more practice question in the next class with some other examples as well. Okay. So that's it for today and we'll catch you in the next lecture, I think on Saturday.